The haegeum is a Korean traditional instrument often compared to the Western fiddle. While lesser known than other traditional instruments in Korea, such as the Haegeum, which is similar to the harp, or the 장구, which is a Korean-style drum, haegeum has been steadily gaining popularity since the 20th century, and in ancient Korean history, it was a common instrument used in both the palace and the streets. The history of the haegeum stretches very far back in history. It is believed that it was originally made by the Hae tribe in Mongolia, then spread to China, and was imported to Korean lands in the 6th century. It was used in hyangak, which is traditional Korean court banquet music originating from the Three Kingdoms period, and then later for tangak, which is Chinese court banquet music, which is brought during the Unified Silla period. It gained more popularity by the 12th century, which was the Goryeo dynasty, where it was continued to be used for both hyangak and tangak, as well as jeongjae, which were court dances. Descriptions of the haegeum were found in lyrics for two famous popular pieces from the Goryeo period, showing that the haegeum also started to be played in popular tunes and folk songs, and not just court music. During the Joseon period, the haegeum also began being used as part of the orchestra that was played in rituals honoring royal ancestors. By the late Joseon dynasty, more common folk began using the haegeum. It was often played as accompaniment to traditional Korean storytelling performances or dance performances, and also just for local songs. Even street beggars in local festivals used the haegeum to attract spectators, imitating animal sounds with the instrument. Later in the 20th century, more songs developed for the haegeum to be played as a solo instrument as it gained popularity, and now it is used as a very versatile instrument, blending across traditional music to being played together with a typically Western orchestra. An interesting characteristic of the haegeum is that despite being a bowed string instrument, it is usually classified in Korea as a wind instrument due to its role of playing the main melody in orchestras. In addition, many note that the haegeum sound, which resembles a human voice more than a fiddle despite its appearance, gives it the ability to even be played like a wind instrument, such as the Korean traditional flute, haegeum. Its tone is described as nasal or rough, allowing the player to express han, a certain deep feeling of sorrow often mentioned in Korean history and literature. These traits make haegeum stand out easily among other instruments. For these unique reasons, the haegeum has been steadily used throughout Korean history and even to this day, despite being lesser known. Hopefully, more will grow to recognize and enjoy the beautiful traditional musical culture of Korea.